Alright, time to get into the vehicle. Don't poke my eye out. Oh no. Close the door like a man. Jeez. There. Gotta show him who's boss. Oh, I got a rip in my glove. Oh, I like those gloves too. Going wet butt. Not sure, but I don't think this is going to be the type of vehicle you'd be wanting to wear a tuxedo in. I wonder how messy you get. Like, not sure, but I think I got mold on my door. Who knows? Who knows? Right? Chips went up again. That's 2 chip price hikes, and look at the size of the bag. Shrinkflation. Chip went up from, it's went up 60 cents. No. It went up, let me think now. Yeah, 70 cents in like less than a month. Can you imagine that? $600 for a full-size drum kit, 4-piece or 5-piece. The 5-piece is $650, and then you add up the tax, you're gonna be about $700-800 by the time you're done with the tax, right? For the cheapest drum kit, but you get everything, right? So that's $700 or $800 that I could throw towards, you know, like a pro kit, right? It's not like the pro kit's not going to get used. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, I bought it and I never use it, blah, blah. It's not the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as anytime I need to record, I'll have my own drum kit to get ideas down, and if I go to the studio, I'll also have the drumming abilities. If they have a better kit, I'll use theirs, right? So that's just one of the things, right? And not only that, if I have an expensive kit and I hire a really good drummer, he can make it sound even better, you know what I mean? So it's not like the kit is not, it's think of it more like a studio project, like a studio like machine, rather than just me playing the drums. Like, that's like me playing the drums is going to be a part of it, right? And like any instrument, it'll take me a little while to get really good at it. I mean, I haven't really played drums for, you know, since the 90s, you know, back in the 90s, and really since high school. So high school, I took like half the semester I played, half the school year I played bass, the other half of the school year I played the drums, right? Or whatever it was, however long the music class was, right? So I takes forever. Like that's that's like anybody can learn how to play guitar, whatever, but to solo good on the guitar, that takes years. You know what I mean? But you can start right away. You know what I mean? You start right away. I'm never one of these guys that don't like put your practice at the fundamentals in the beginning of any instrument, right? But have a part of your practice experimentation. So like for bass players, slapping, oh, you should wait a year before you start slapping. No, do it on day one. Just don't make that your focal point. Just see, okay, well, this is how they want you to do it the proper way. Try the technique for 5 minutes or so. And then you spend the rest of the time learning, the fundamentals and stuff like that. Which I'll be doing a 1-year bass review of my playing, which I think I'm a pretty good bass player for 1 year. But you have to understand there's 45 years of guitar playing and music theory that I've learned as well, right? So, but it doesn't automatically translate to making you a good bass player. But, I can do a little bit of all the techniques. I can do tapping, slapping, percussive movements and stuff. It's just I can't do them as good as pro bass players because I haven't not enough practice yet, right? But the finger stuff, the three finger thing, move over Steve Harris. I got it. I got this, right? So the drum kit's going to be too expensive to just outright buy. So I'd like to piece it together. The problem is if I piece it together, it'll take me years, right? Which means, like you buy like a piece a month or something